Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, your friendly neighborhood faggot here, and welcome to another discussion topic video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Fortnite again, of course. Who doesn't love a little bit of, Fortnite. No, I mean PUBG. Oh, I guess Fortnite's going to be in here, but it's mostly going to be about PUBG. Because recently, obviously, I'm sure a lot of you have seen, the reviews on Steam are only about 35% positive for the last 30 days. And also overall, it's under 50% of people find the game to be positive, which is mostly due to a plethora of things such as claiming that the game is full of hackers, bugs, optimization issues. I decided to go back and play the game again for a little bit to see, kind of feel where it is at the current point. And honestly, it's not as great as I would have hoped still, but that's not really what I'm here to discuss. I'm here more to talk about the decline of PUBG and why I think it's gotten to this point where it's lost about, I think, probably 70 to 75% of its player base. Right now, it's at about 700 to 800,000 concurrent players daily, instead of the near 3.3 million players that it hit at its peak point, which was probably a year ago, maybe a little bit less than a year ago, before Fortnite really became a huge hit in the gaming industry. This decline in malice from the player base, I think, has to do with two main reasons. The first is the constant anti-consumer behavior from the creators of PUBG to the childish remarks and accusations that keep coming up from Brandon Green and from other executives in the PUBG or Bluehole company. The first is the anti-consumer, like I mentioned, and this is a wide variety of things. First is the lack of focus towards improving the quality of the game and giving us some bad servers, honestly. They're focusing on things that people don't really like, and adding features people never asked for instead of fixing the terrible tick rate servers and the bugs and issues and hackers that we are constantly seeing over and over again. In-game ads and loot boxes in a paid game are something that no one wants to see ever. Of course, the loot box system could be worse, but the skin, technically it should be considered a sin, but the skin situation is pretty bad. Just looking at it, having to spend $25 on a single skin recently, the Joker and Harley Quinn skins are $25 a piece to get the full set. You don't even get them all at once. You have to purchase pieces separately, like the face paint, the jacket, and stuff like that. And that's always a concern with people. No one really brings it up as like an uproar, but it's still there. There's also this constant childish remarks and egotistical behavior from Brendan Green and the other executives. I'm guessing the other executives from Bluehole and PUBG Corporation. It started all the way back when Fortnite really became a huge hit. They actually sued Fortnite, or Epic Games. Of course, you can't sue Fortnite itself, but they sued Epic Games. But they also claimed that Epic Games had copied PUBG and they just pointed a finger and they said, "Oh, look over there, they copied us. We had this first," which is completely unironic, of course, knowing that H1Z1 came before, or the King of the Kill part of H1Z1 came before PUBG, and before that there was actually the film Battle Royale, and there was the book Battle Royale, which is based off of this whole concept of people being dropped on an island or a certain area and having to fight to the last person. So that's a completely ironic statement from Bluehole to begin with, and when you look at it, it's just childish behavior, pointing fingers at others. Another one of the more recent issues that has happened is the fact that people did not want the Chinese players to come over onto the Western servers. There's this lack of communication when you have two different languages being spoken. You have Mandarin, which I hope I got that right. Mandarin, which is the Chinese language, major Chinese language, and then you have, of course, English. And when these two combine and you have two squad mates that are speaking Mandarin and two squad mates that are speaking English, the lack of communication is just abhorrent. There's also ping issues. People were constantly saying that the Chinese players were the largest hacking group in the game, which is, I believe, was proven to be true, or just seemed to be true from all the screenshots, accusations, and so on and so forth, and all the complaints that were being made. But that's not really the issue there. It's what Brendan Green decided to say to the community that really really got us thinking about who this person thinks he is, and and how he acts as an individual, and yet again, more pointing fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and read the quote from you. I had watched another video, and this had been in there. He pulled it from an article. I forget which. It was probably from Polygon or Kotaku or something. Here we go. "It's quite disgraceful to see," Green said. "The Chinese player base is very passionate for Battlegrounds, and they love our game. They're the reason we have such a high number of concurrent users. Yes, there's some cheaters that come out of there, but the majority of our Chinese players just love our game and love playing it. This kind of xenophobic attitude that a lot of Western players seem to have online is just disgraceful. It's 2017. We live on one big planet together. What the fuck? I'm quite ashamed of those players that shout these things out. We want to create a great space for everyone to enjoy across the globe, and locking one region out, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking." This is, of course, in response to people saying that they should continent lock and region lock China so that they can stay on the servers that best fit them, and so that there's no communication issues, the hacker problem would decrease. But instead of addressing that properly, he just comes out and say, "You guys are racist for wanting this. What's wrong with you? You don't know what you're talking about, and you're xenophobic," which is a childish remark to begin with. And we're seeing this over and over again from this individual, Brendan Green, of course. And this is and they expect us to respect this individual when this is what he's telling us that we're racist because we want a certain region on the other side, basically on this other side of the world, to stay on their servers and in their region. And we'd be fine with region locking ourselves too. Lock the North American servers to North America, European servers to European. It doesn't matter. It should be ping locked or region locked. But just coming out and saying this is disgraceful to the company and does not help the public relations between the player base and Bluehole, especially in the condition that they're in right now. I really think there actually is a third reason to why PUBG is actually in a downfall right now. And I didn't mention it earlier, but it's really competition. Bluehole was able to get away with a lackluster performance game that wasn't developing very fast for quite some time. And then once Fortnite came around and players realized that there were more games out there that they could play that was in the Battle Royale genre that had a better start, more fluid gameplay, less bugs, better performance, they started to migrate over. And I think the core reason why Bluehole decided to sue Epic Games is because they realized, sue Epic Games over all these other companies that are coming out with Battle Royales. They haven't sued Blackout for coming out with Battle Royale. They haven't sued Cuisine Royale. They haven't sued Ring of Elysium or Rise of Elysium, whatever it's called. But there's a reason for that. It's because they knew that Fortnite was a threat to them. They knew and they realized that this is actually competition that could damage their company and their revenue. And of course, as we see now, it did. What really drew players over to Fortnite is a couple of things. The first, I believe, is the fact that it is more accessible to a wider audience of individuals. It isn't necessarily so realistic and tactical that it's meant for older audiences, and it's not so childish that it can only be played by young individuals, 8, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, but obviously we see plenty of them in the game, and that's probably also due to the fact that it's, you don't have to pay any money to get in, you don't have to buy any battle pass, you don't have to get any skins or anything. You could spend $0 in this game and enjoy it for the rest of your life. This opens it up to, of course, people who don't have jobs, like younger individuals, people who are in lower incomes, and just it's more appealing to everyone in general because they don't have to put that paywall in front of their game. Another big thing is the pro-consumer ideology that Epic Games holds. Now, of course, I know some people are going to claim that all the skins and everything there is anti-consumer in a way, but I think it's a whole lot less anti-consumer than what PUBG is doing. You don't have to buy any of the skins. There's no like loot boxes where you get a random item. You could choose what you want when you want. There is that kind of artificial scarcity thing that they have going where it rotates out of the store, but you always really know if you pay attention that some things are going to come around eventually. The Battle Pass is a huge example of this more pro-consumer idea that keeps drawing players to the game. It's something you can spend less than $10 on. You get a whole lot of content, skins, emotes, icons, backpacks, and so on and so forth. But the big thing that you have to realize is that if you are to go through the Battle Pass, you will make back more in-game currency than you spent on it. I don't know the exact number, but I think I'm right now like level 60, and I already have 900 V-Bucks back, and that's not even to the end. So I'm probably going to end up like 1300 V-Bucks, somewhere around there. So I can actually buy the next battle pass and more stuff from the store. And that's just showing that they actually have some kind of care for their community, instead of just, saying, give me money, I'll give you some interesting things. But they even took it another step forward. It said, we're going to give you back more than you spent, so you can enjoy the game more, especially with these challenges adding so much content. There's so much to do. They're adding these little things around the map, like shooting ranges, the vehicles, going through the rings, and it's all entertaining for players. Fortnite's also a much more casual experience. I mean, I'm sure we can all agree that Fortnite is a bit more casual for the most part. Of course, there's that group of people who are extremely into it, who can build forts in literal seconds. There's memes about all that shit, we see that punny. But the thing is, it's more entertainment focused than tactical, realistic gameplay. It's meant they have so many different game modes that are constantly rotating out. So many more in-game events, like like I mentioned, the shooting ranges, the rings, so many different challenges that keep you entertained. The map is constantly changing. The weapons, traps, items are always changing constantly, month to month. So it offers this new, fresh experience for players, and that really just draws in people and kind of keeps it refreshed, so people don't just simply leave the game due to monotony. Another thing that I noticed is more PUBG is the general playstyle. I know I mentioned it's a more entertaining, fun experience. PUBG is, and I've obviously said PUBG is simply a tactical game that is played in a more slow-paced fashion, but it seems that PUBG has a playstyle that is more akin to camping in a corner or waiting, because most of the games that I've played happen to have people who simply sit in corners, waiting at the top of buildings, or just laying down in fields, hiding behind rocks, waiting for you to go by. And you kind of have to pray that you walk into somewhere, or you're walking by. You hope some kid isn't laying down in the grass behind a rock, and then ruins your whole game. Now, some people I know enjoyed this experience, and I guess it's more of an opinion, but I personally enjoy dynamic and aggressive play, and that's what Fortnite provides, while PUBG is more of a passive, which, I mean, I enjoyed PUBG for a long while. I liked that passive gameplay because at the beginning, it wasn't simply everyone was just sitting in a bathroom in every house or gets to the zone, which is what people do when they get in the zone. They just get in the zone, sit in a bathroom and wait, or something like that. Now, I mean, I guess that's more akin to the sniper mentality, because a lot of people like snipers in the game because they're very useful, and they provide an experience that no other battle royale really provides in that way because of the bullet physics and whatnot. But it's just a scummy way of playing, and if you don't agree with me, that's completely fine. That's just my opinion. Everyone has their own play style, and to each their own. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and drop a like down below. If you did not, you know what to do. I, as always, like to hear feedback and discussion, so if you don't agree with anything I said in this video, or you have something to add, or something that I may have missed, go ahead and drop it down below in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, as well as gameplay, go ahead and subscribe. Hope you guys have a great day, and take care.